welcome my Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Path of True Love read, your timeless Path of True Love read. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Production since 1998, the author of Words of Grace from a professional witch, professional, did you love that New York that's stuck in there? Book available on Kindle, The Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal, and I am the son of a Cancerian mother, the mothers of the zodiac, so I always have a soft spot in my heart for my crab cakes. So let's get down to business. If you're new to my channel and new to these readings, there are plenty of links in the description box as well as the description box itself telling you what this reading is about. But I actually did a video called a preface. Wow, I'm having a little trouble with the English language today. A preface to these readings, explaining what it's about, why I use the Celtic Cross spread, and all of that. But to boil it down, to put a fine point on it, it is your spiritual path, your hero's journey, your healing journey, your soul's path through the lenses of your relationships, helping you become the true love that you already are. I know, it seems like going around the world to just come right back home, but it is the journey. It is that hero's journey of alchemizing the lead to gold within our own energy system to be the divine, true, immortal, eternal, perfect true love that all of us are at core. And every relationship in our lives, regardless of form, delivers us lessons, reasons, seasons, and lifetime. Cool? So that's what we're going to do. We are doing a 25 card spread. Let's see, we got 2 archetype cards, Carolyn Mace archetype cards, one for you on this side, one for whoever is crossing your path. Does not have to be romantic, but often is on the channel. Of course, it is a general read, so you'll know that better than I will. Then we're going to take 2 tarot decks and do the 10 position Celtic Cross spread to get you the inner and outer dynamics of what's going on the path. Then we're going to take 2 oracle cards and end with a Matt Kahn healing mantra to kind of give you a little something to work in the mind, as it were. Lovely healing mantra. Other than that, standard YouTube reading rules do apply. It is a general read. If it's not your reading, check your other signs. Because sometimes you get similar information or actually different information about the same person crossing your path. And sometimes it's a family member or, you know, a friend or whatever, and it doesn't matter. Whoever's crossing your path, you heal yourself in relationship to another person. It heals all your relationships through the quantum entanglement of soul contracts, blah, blah, blah. Let's just do this. Ready? Both feet on the floor. If you can, focus on your breath, if you will. And if you want to book me for a reading, there's a video on how to do that in the description box as well. Let's do this. Breathe. As I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of the path of true love, and the higher selves of all involved for the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the dominant 8th chakra archetype going on for the Cancerian, even if it jumps back and forth, right? Cross-watching or whatever. What's really the soul power they are developing on the path of true love whenever they are watching this? It is a timeless read. And what is that same dynamic but in the person crossing their path, reason, season, or lifetime, right? Lover, friend, family member, co-worker, boss, whatever that is. What's the 8th chakra dynamic for the one who crosses them on the path? Well, 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 you already know what these are. They are in the title. You, if you are the Cancerian, you resonate to the Messiah archetype. It's not what you think it is. And the one crossing your path has the addict. Now, here's the thing. It's not that you are the Messiah and they are an addict. It's that these are the energies, the archetypal patterns playing out in the 8th chakra, which affect everything else underneath it in the energy system, and of course, the inner and outer world. So we've got a divine family archetype and a wild card family archetype. There are 9 different families according to Dr. Caroline Mace, PhD. So I'm going to read you what's on the card. The shadow attribute of the Messiah I see happen all the time in relationships, but particularly in the self-employed, I'm self-employed, the shadow, exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. And I've certainly seen that in extremely tricky relationships as well, where one person carries the whole thing, and if they don't, the whole thing will fall apart. Not fun. The light attribute, though, serving humanity with humility. And at core, humility is knowing that you do not know. It just is. If you want to boil it down, like, what is humility? It's not about, I don't know, groveling and begging and scraping. It's not that. The very first grace in my book that I talk about, Words of Grace, and the very last grace that I talk about in my book, Words of Grace, is the grace of humility, what I call the maiden grace. Please grant me the maiden grace of humility to know that I do not know when I do not know, but I am willing to be shown the truth regardless of outcome. So very, very powerful here. Can you serve this relationship? Because I got to tell you, every time you heal a relationship, every time you heal something in yourself in a relationship, whether the other person heals or not, you are helping humanity, right? You are serving humanity, bringing more love, more healing, more health to the planet, which there are links in the description box talking about that specific subject. The addict. Now, before we go too deep on this, do understand everybody has their addictions. Everyone does, right? Except maybe the Dalai Lama. I always cut him slack. He is the Dalai Lama. You be addicted to compassion. Go for it. Sounds like a good deal. But again, you can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Some people are lifelong addicts to certain things, energies. Let's just leave that there. But who doesn't deal with dependencies at some point or another? The shadow attribute compromises integrity and honesty. Like, that's the problem in a relationship. When an addict makes people, an addiction makes people lie, right, to cover things up, particularly in codependent relationships. There are a lot of lies going on because they don't want you to know the truth about how they really feel because it might upset you and you blah, 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 blah. You get what I'm saying. Allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit when your soul is saying no, but your addiction is saying yes. I mean, that really is the rub of the shadow, regardless of the form of addiction. And remember, it's not all drugs and alcohol, folks. You'd be addicted to being right. I grew up with teachers and lawyers. You can be addicted to being right and go through withdrawal when you're proven wrong. The light attribute helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. Now, aside from an addict being on the table, my real concern here, and it is empathic, emotional, is you feeling like you have to save this person because the Messiah is also the Savior, right? And if they're not pulling their weight on that, you can help somebody heal, but ultimately, if they are lying, if they are compromising their integrity, how much can you do, right? I had a lovely client today, a really, really wonderful woman, called from her car, Facebook video call, and she's in a caretaking position, and I was like, well, you teach by example, but don't answer questions that haven't been asked, right? You do the best that you can. Make sure you're putting yourself in the healthy priority, right? So you're not doing this all by yourself and this person cannot survive without you. I mean, that's different than a literal caretaker situation where, you are physically, medically, however you want to say that, like babies, right? Really, they're not going to survive without somebody taking care of them. But this does not feel that way. Let's see. Let's lay down our Celtic Cross here. We're going to use Daughters of the Moon Tarot to look at the next four chakras down: the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart. What's going on inside, first of you, then this person, to the extent we're allowed to see that. And then how this is going to go, heart, throat, third eye, crown, on the path itself. Please take a nice deep breath. Because the two addiction centers in the chakras are the throat chakra, heart, throat, third eye, crown, and in the second chakra, the navel. And we'll get to that with the Mythic Tarot, the 10 cards going down after this. But for right this moment, breathe. As I call upon my goddesses of water and the sign of Cancer, please, 10 cards face down, fulfilling the 10 card spread of the Celtic Cross for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sun watching this video, receiving this reading. A Messiah and an addict, a path here, a story, a chapter, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. What's heart, third eye, crown going on? Again, we're going to say that the Messiah here is the Cancerian there. Nope, that's not it. What's going on, heart, third eye, crown? For the Cancer, the interior, the emotional, mental world. How about this addict? Particularly, if we can see what's going on in their throat chakra with this addict archetype crossing their path. Just one? Yep, okay. What's going on at the core? The subconscious influences here that neither one might be aware of unless one is really, really connected with their creative intuition, that there's something going on here. What is the sense? What's going on under the surface at the core of this path of true love journey, perhaps for both of them? What is behind them, right? The recent past connecting to the present that will point us towards the future. What is crowning on the path of true love for the Cancerians? Orbiting over the head. They have free will about how they want to cope with it, deal with it, right? Hasn't quite happened. It's not quite the present. It's not quite the future. It's in probability, but the most likely one that they will have to choose or decide about. Nope. It might be more than one thing orbiting here. Probably got a lot of different choices, a lot of different options, but give us our clearest one. Thank you, my goddesses. And just move these over a little bit. And what is before them, just around the bend, so to speak, on the path of true love, this Messiah dealing with an addict, heart, third eye, crown dynamic. What is going on in the lesson, the universal learning template, what the universe is trying to teach them, what is here for them. I mean, I feel like it's for them, I feel like it's happening to them, but, you know, what is the lesson? What is this all set up for? To help them learn. From the outside, vibing in horizontally, how does our Cancerian kind of feel on this heart, third eye, crown from the outside looking in? What is the destiny that comes from taking the hero's journey, right? Fate led, alchemized into destiny gold here, heart, third eye, crown for them, which is really what it's all about. And for the outcome, most probable outcome for the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this Path of True Love reading, considering the current timeline of this lifetime. There we go. Let's start flipping. You present as the Messiah with 10 of Cups. All right. I mean, really, I'm going to say that is going to, on the emotional scale, definitely bring you closer to bliss, right? Ecstasy. It's a brilliant feeling. 10 of Cups. Your cups overflowing. Inanna's house of heaven, which only comes about through embracing the shadow. Inanna. Check out the myth, Erishkigal and all of that. So I'm going to say, where you are, heart, third eye, crown with this, you got a lot of love for this person. But that's going to put you more in that place of humility, right? That humility to serve humanity. I mean, if you are, a counselor, I mean, literal professional, CSW, MSW, whatever, then certainly this could be a client. Just be careful if you are not that, because if you are in a situation where someone is really dealing with an addiction, granted, all soul contracts are scripted before we ever incarnate into these bodies, but that love that you have there, make sure it is properly balanced within yourself, that you are not, right? It's all on you to keep this going, yeah, because the addict on the inner has the Three of Blades. The Three of Swords certainly can be a card of emotional heartache, heartbreak, but no, this is about a focus. This is about introspection. It's actually the key word on the card, focus. A maiden, a mother, and a crone, introspecting, focusing. You got a pyramid, a symbol of three behind them, as well as a sphinx, indicating a mystery, right? Some hidden forces at play there. But that's not to say that the common interpretation of the Three of Swords wouldn't be applicable here, because addicts are medicating pain, not always emotional pain. Certainly a lot of people come into addiction, I'm talking drug and alcohol addiction in particular, through an injury, through an accident, through a physical pain. We know that story. There might be some of that in here. Again, that Messiah, just be very, very careful of being their savior. Because there's only, I mean, particularly with addictions, there are choices, throat chakra, choices and decisions here. I'm covering up my solar plexus. I don't usually do that. I'm just going to say guard yourself. Make sure that you know what your healthy boundaries are. Because if they're not doing the work, they're not doing the work. We don't know that yet. Definitely an internal focus. What's underneath all of this? Yeah. I would say emotional pain perhaps for both of you. The Four of Cups here. Sorrow. There has been loss in this situation. Both of you individually, maybe you have had and lost each other, but maybe this person crossing your path, your cups overflow, but there may be some residual emotional pain there, some waxing and waning of the tides there. 3 cups spilled, 1 cup standing. Now I will say, at best, this card usually feels like a meh, you know, sort of bored. You see that a lot in 4 cups, right? It's like a nice hand of God giving me a cup, not so interested, right? But of course, at the like I say, the worst side of that, the harsher side of that, can really be this heartbreak. And again, even if people are medicating themselves with workaholism, working out, right, whatever it is, it's to either medicate or avoid pain, and there is some emotional stuff going on here. Now, every Cancerian that I've ever known, closer than just at a distance, has been empathic, usually emotionally, if not viscerally, physically empathic with people, and those who don't know it suffer it greatly. So I know a lot of people who watch my channel know that they are empathic, not just in the social consciousness sense of empathy, which we're all supposed to have, but in the energetic sense of empathy as a diagnostic skill. Feeling other people's energies, emotions, whatever, in your own cell tissue can be a little confusing. So be careful of taking on the psychic weight that's not yours, particularly with this person, unless, of course, you are an MSW, CSW counselor, something like that, where this can really be one particular person that you are really feeling for, and there is great love here. I just don't necessarily get that it's romantic, at least not yet. What's behind you? You know, it's your 3rd water card here. Here we've got the 7 of Cups. Certainly emotionally options, right? Castles in the sky. Would I want that? Or I could do that. The things that we visualize and we dream that have an emotional call or pull to us. And this deck, the keyword is jealousy. Now, maybe that is literal here, but I will say, somebody with a Messiah family archetype, everybody has it, right? Reason, season, or lifetime. If you are very dedicated to the work that you're doing, to the people that you serve, maybe to your spiritual path, of course, Path of True Love read would be perfect for somebody like that, because it does take a warrior's determination to walk the path of true love. You might be jealous at somebody's addiction. Now, I don't mean the external forms of what comes of it, but of their freedom to do that, even though they're not free. Does that make sense? Right? It's like, I find when I get resentful towards somebody, I learned this from Matt Kahn, resentment is usually a sign of a little bit of jealousy, because they're getting to be toxic and you don't get to. Isn't that interesting, right? Or they get to have illusions that you can't have those. I get that way. I'm not allowed to lie. I took blood vows. I do have to speak things with as much love and compassion as I can, so I don't cut people's heads off, and that was not always the case. Speak the truth. Thwack, right across the shoulders. But the vibe that I'm getting there, I'm going to get more turbulence. It feels like in the past, you might have had a lot of different feelings and fantasies about this person, how it could be, how it could work out. But my fingers are tapping. There is definitely something there about envy. Just remember, if you're an empath, that might be theirs you're picking up on too. Most people, you say jealous, and they go all Ralph Cramden, right? Jealous, me, har, har, hardy, har, har. It's a third eye thing. It doesn't always make sense, right? And often it's an intuitive sign that if somebody has something that you really, really want and don't have yet and go into jealousy, that's a form of intuition telling you it's on its way. So let yourself be jealous, just don't act on it, right? Give it the love that it needs. Just saying. It's Matt Kahn. Everything is here to help you. Really, really good book. Okay, what crowns? Heart, third eye crown here. is the Gemini card, the the Knight of Swords, the Maiden of Blades here, Hina. That there is communication going on here. There is information gathering going on here. There is self-expression in some way, shape, or form, at least going on inside of you. I would say that matches up pretty well with that Three of Blades and this Addict crossing your path. But I feel like the communication is going to go from you to them, and it's just the positioning of the cards. Let's see if I can do this for you. If you put the, come here. We put the Messiah there and the Addict there. Hina is flying from the Messiah to the Addict. Feels like some form of reaching out or communication. Like I said, with the fifth position there, the Crown, you get to choose. You have free will about that. Not just if you want to, but how you do that. What comes of that should they take that choice? The Hora, Ten of Flames, Ten of Wands. Yes, maybe an internal burden, but an internal burden put down, completed. I mean, the Hora is not... I mean, I've been to many Jewish weddings, bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs. They can only be Jewish as far as I can understand. My mother divorced my father, married a Jewish divorce lawyer, my stepfather, so I grew up in the culture, pretty much. Maybe a witch, I don't know. So I know, and it can be a time of joy and celebration, a completion, right? Bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, the kid goes through all that work, all that study, right? And they become an adult, a man, a woman. In the family, the larger community family there. But certainly this can be that you complete something. And by the way, it's your second 10 in the first position, which is where you are now, and in the sixth position, what's before you on the path. So there is some fulfillment here for you in helping this person, but I wonder if that's the end of the line with it, though, like a fulfillment of this contract. And maybe that's why even that Four of Cups, that sense of loss, it's like, I might have to just do what I got to do here and be done. And you communicating it, I would think, rather clearly. Your lesson? All right. Three of Cups. So maybe this isn't a complete walk away. Three of Cups is emotional bonding. I do feel like you have an emotional bond to this person, but your lesson then would be how to feel that love without compromising your integrity and honesty, right? Certainly emotional bonds and connections can be, obviously heart, throat, third eye, crown. That's the emotional chakra of the four there. But it can, with an addict, absolutely talk about emotional dependence, emotional codependence, people pleasing, particularly as an empath. You could tell somebody's not feeling feeling upset, whatever, and so you start people pleasing them because you're feeling what they're feeling, so you're really changing them just so you feel better. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's tricky. This is why the path of true love, to understand that the best thing that we can do for people, if not directly help them horizontally, is to bless them, is to pray, is to use that bond rather than to receive the empathic info, to transmit that blessing, that healing, that love. And with that Ten of Cups in your first position, I can feel that. It is, Ten of Cups is unconditional love. It's hard with an addict to be unconditionally loving because they're hurting themselves, right? So but you can understand they are in pain, and who isn't, right? Who isn't dealing with some pain? Just everybody deals with it differently. But I don't feel like this is somebody you cut out of your life with that Three of Cups. This could be a family member. This could be somebody you literally cannot disconnect yourself from in this world. I like this. From the outside looking in, your heart, third eye, crown is you're feeling the potential. Ace of Pentacles. That there is a solid, healthy seed here that can be developed. A potential that can be planted, nurtured, fed, cultivated into something strong. If this is even just a friend. Friends save your life more than lovers ever will. Then this is a solid person. You're coming across as very, very solid, very, very stable, but a sticker, right? Like, no, I've got your side. Just don't do crazy shit, dude, right? It's like, I'm with you, but just don't be harmful, right? Do the best that you can. Again, that's tricky if you are an MSW, CSW, drug, alcohol counselor, whatever, a healer even. Just watch your boundaries with that. If this is professional, and even if it's not professional, just remember, if you're not licensed to practice, give them a good book, point them in the right direction, glove them, but don't enable, and don't be a armchair therapist. I'm a spiritual counselor. I tell my clients I'm not allowed to diagnose or treat or prognose anything. I just do what the gods tell me to do. And I recommend that for you, actually, in your destiny position here. You've got the Aquarius card, the friend card. That would be Queen of Swords, Crone of Blades, Ixchel, Ixchel. Check her out. Here, Eagle Woman flying up in the stratosphere, the high, fixed air, the frozen air of our atmosphere, carrying a pair of scissors, seeing the larger picture, clipping out what does not work here, and focusing your mind on this in some way, shape, or form. But I would say not just pulling back, pulling up, going into a place of prayer, a place of using your fixed attention of the mind in a very healing way. Because with that Messiah archetype, it is a divine family archetype anyway. You got the 10 of Cups, you feel for this person. We'll look at, the next card, next 10 cards down will show us what's going on in the physical lower 3 chakra dynamic. But your destiny really comes by you in a way being the hero for yourself, seeing things from the GPS point of view, than just kind of rushing in and doing what they need to do for themselves. And that's the thing. You got the 4 of Wands here, not pretty in this card. This is the card of conflict. 2 archers pointing each other, but 1 dragon. 1 issue fueling the whole thing here. I mean, it can get very, very conflicting and frustrating when someone that we love and care for, professionally, personally, lover, friend, family, whatever, is going through something where they are in a lot of pain and they don't want to deal with that pain. And so they turn to certain forms of medication, literal and symbolic, in their lives to do that. And when we offer them help and they're not ready for that help, I mean, it's not a new story. It's not like Mark, it's the first time we've ever heard of anything like that. No, it's ancient on the planet, and certainly a lot of healing and a lot of study about, just from 12-step to shadow work to, therapies of all different kind. There is a healthy way through this. I mean, it only happens so that we can become healthy dealing with our pain and our addictions. But your outcome here is 4 flames. It's going to be, I want to, but I can't. Want to help you, but I don't think I can. Foot on the gas, foot on the brake. Foot on the gas, foot on the brake. Spinning wheels here, and a lot of frustration. And it's understandable. Okay, mothers of the zodiac, right? I mean, if they're your literal child, I can get that, right? Literally, physically gave birth to somebody going through something like this. In some way, shape or form, male or female, whoever, right? Your child, that's one thing. But I just said this to the client. I had a brilliant client today. If you carry those who can walk, their legs wither, right? That's where enabling codependency really, even if we're not the one with the physical addiction, it's something to look at, particularly if you are the only means by which this relationship can succeed. That's the word, right? Yes, can succeed. The cause of this. Let's look lower 3 chakras, from the outside looking in, from the inside looking out. Some of that, all of that. Breathe. All right. I call upon my gods of water and the sign of Cancer. Please, 10 cards. We'll do these one at a time, face up, to clarify what's already on the table for the Cancerian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. We've got the Messiah representing the Cancerian, understanding that the roles might be reversed for whoever's watching this. And they've got the 10 of Cups on the inner. What's going on the outer, please? Lower 3 chakras, looking in, looking out, both. The Hermit. Good. That's how you're going to be able to get to that Aquarius card in your destiny. Pull, back. I don't feel like you're cutting this person out of your life. I feel like you are taking some time for yourself. Because if you're going to serve humanity with humility, it would help to know I feel so much love for this person, but I have no idea how to help them. The divine does. So let me go deeper in, higher up, see what information, inspiration, insight is given to me. Let me pray for them. Let me focus intently on my inner life, which you have to say is 10 of Cups. So a lot of love here. Maybe not letting on about that. But that also says to me not a lot of interaction either. How about this addict crossing their path? Again, to say that they're an addict, to say that anyone is an archetype is unfair. We are not our archetypes. We have the archetypes. It's like we are not our bodies. We have bodies. It's like, and then we reverse it the one way it's actually true. We don't have a soul. We are souls. Yeah. Funny how we get that reversed. Breathe. All right. One crossing their path, the addict in the 8th, 3 of blades on the inner. What's going on the outer? Please leave that card in my hand. Yeah, temperance, good. So I would say there is some effort being made here. Now, temperance is a very, very powerful thing, right? So often people see it as only like a healing card and a balancing card. But if you watch videos on YouTube about tempering metal, I watched one the other day where the guy took this rusted Rolls-Royce car model, and it was gorgeous by the time he got it. But what it had to go through, you know, like the sanding and the dipping it in acid, and you know the process of transformation. It's like every time I watch it, I want to like put it out to the world. Perfect metaphor for the spiritual awakening and spiritual healing. Temperance takes time. It does take time. It takes work. If this is somebody who's really focusing intently on doing this work, at least that's how they're vibing horizontally, you looking at them, then I would say that there is a real chance for healing here if the person is willing. But you see, then there is that, see, that this is, right, compromises integrity and honesty. Is it really going down? Are they really doing that? I don't think... Well, no one can tell what's going on behind somebody's eyes. I mean, unless you're like Jean Grey, telepath level, Dr. Xavier shit going on. You know, it's spying, snooping, psychic invasion. With this going on the bottom here, this 4 of Cups, though, this feels like there is a sense of loss, a sense of disappointment. And like I said, at best, meh, so over it. At worst, perhaps some real grief here. So what's going on, please? What does that look like from the outside looking in? Just some way for them to get a little bit of a coordinate on that. What's going on at the core of this relationship on the path of true love? 3 of Cups, double whammy. You might have had to walk away from somebody. The healing may be going on. You're not exactly sure, but the love is there. I mean, I would say this is more than of a friend. 3 of Cups, as much as it is a card of celebration, and actually there is a wedding being performed in this particular mythic tarot, the wedding of Eros and Psyche, but boy, she had not seen his face when she married him, read the myth. It's a pretty good story about how true love does conquer all, but how blind it can be. Still, if that's what's going on, that there's still an emotional connection, a friendship here, there is sorrow. And again, this could be a replay from past things projected onto this, right? Unfinished grief and loss. But I'm not getting that. I'm getting that, yeah, that with that Hermit card representing the Messiah there, that you needed to pull back. You feel like there's only so much you can do here. Well, with that 7 of Cups behind, they might have had all sorts of visions and ideas and emotions and feelings about how they wanted this to go. What's that look like? Knight of Pentacles. I feel like you did your best to serve this person. You took what options that felt right to you and did what you could. Again, it's not over. We got that Gemini card coming up next that looks like you're going to be communicating, but that is your free will and choice. If you can get that there is a larger picture here, that there is a journey, and in this journey, part of this journey, a chapter of the story, of this relationship on the path for you is about pulling back, feeling the love for them, maybe not being so all up in their grill, all up in their face, all up in their business, to let them do this temperance work if they're actually doing it. But there is some jealousy here, and that's a weird word to use, because with a Messiah and an addict, the only thing I could really put that in context with is that you're doing so right and doing the best that you can to be honest and full of integrity, and then you're dealing with somebody, well, who might not be. And I know what that feels like, right? It's like, oh God, I wish I could be purely materialistic for a hot second. And I can for a hot second. Yeah, give me some good coffee and a pizza and a cute guy. I'm good to go. That's all I need. And a massage and a hot tub and a week off would be nice too. But it's tricky. We're not done. Believe me, the oracle cards have been very, very helpful in these reads when we get to them. But like I said, crowning for you is the Gemini card. It looks like there is communication going from you to them, or at least the desire to do that. It's like kind of like you're going to know what you want to say. You're going to know how you want to express yourself, just maybe not in the details. You'll figure that out though. Breathe. My gods, please. What is that from the outside looking in? If they could see it, what's going on in the crown? The Hierophant. Darling, if you are going to communicate to this person, really do it as a teacher, right? As a teacher, as a healer, as a spiritual something or other, right? As a friend, but in a way that is, I'm going to say, leveled and boundaried, something that has some back to it. The Hierophant, well, it's not exactly like the Emperor, but there are some similarities. The Emperor is in control and is an authority figure. This is, in this deck, Chiron, the wounded healer, the centaur, the Kentor. Really, the one who delivers the quests. The ones who is there to heal, who is there to help because they've been through it themselves. He's the wounded healer, even in astrology, the planet Chiron, the asteroid Chiron, sorry. So it feels like you might be communicating yourself to say, look, I am here to help, but I am not your Messiah. I can do it with you, but I can't do it for you. Right? I can do my own healing, or healing is going to be different, but I'm here for you. That feels like a legit way, because the love you have for this person, 10 of Cups, 3 of Cups twice. There's definitely an emotional bond here, which is leading me to think this could very easily be a family member, right? A brother, a sister, a parent, whatever. And remember, the addictions are not always drugs and alcohol, and that's why they might be looking all balanced and tempered on the outside, but you don't know what's going on, particularly if they're not telling anybody. And yet there is this graduation, this 10 of Flames, Hava, Nagila. If there is a burden, the burden is laid down, but it's as a result of a completion, a graduation, a completion of the cycle of fire started at the Ace of Flames into the 10. What does that look like on the outer, please? Yeah, the Lovers. Now, the Lovers here, I don't feel like is that, they're going to be lovers. The card doesn't really mean that. At least it was not the original interpretation. This is about a choice. This is about bigger than a choice. This is about a life decision. What's the difference between a choice and a decision? Intensity. I'll have another coffee. Another cup of coffee, that's choice. I'm going to grow. I'm going to quit doing readings and grow my own beans. Yeah, that's a life-changing decision. This is about the head, the heart, and the throat chakra. I have to make a wise, loving, empowered choice or decision that's going to change my life, because you might have gotten what you needed to get out of this in terms of the element of fire. You've really learned something here, and now you have a decision to make. Now, it's funny, that communication comes first. I think you're going to get some information here from the outside looking in to put this into some clarity about what actually is your decision and what actually isn't, and how to do this compassionately, how to do this with a clear mind, really understanding at least the truth that you can see on this. And that's why I think that Aquarius card in your destiny is so key. But that your heart remain open. You're able to not just communicate, but able to choose and decide in the healthiest way for all involved. And that includes you. That does include you. No need to be self-sacrificial here. We can always refer people to professionals if we are not professionals, but to be bound to someone who doesn't want to heal. We don't have to do that anymore. we make our way. The lesson here again, Three of Cups. And again, you've got the Three of Cups here at the core. So I think you're well aware that this is a person in your life, that there is a strong emotional bond connection here. But when it's the three, it's saying that your lesson might very well be an empathic one. How much of this are you feeling? Perhaps your fear of what's going to happen is their fear you are feeling. Now that's a tricky sentence, let alone situation to find yourself in. But also the lesson is here is to bless them like a brother or a sister. We're all brothers and sisters in the eyes of spirit. There is only one begotten Son of God, and it's all of us as one. All right, there is only one child of the divine, and it's at the core of all of us. So you can be loving. You can be kind, right? Make new friends, keep the old. One is silver, the other gold. It's literally what's written in the book for that. I know it's from the Girl Scouts. They wouldn't let me be one. I'm a guy in this life, but I knew the song. So your lesson here is to be friendly, but also friendly to yourself. Let's not kid ourselves here. You know, pretending to feel something isn't fun. No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Let's be friendly. That's, see, witches aren't nice. Witches, we don't do nice. We do right. Right? Let's do right. Let's be honest. Let's be truthful. And if we could do it without hacking somebody's head off at the shoulders, all the better. This does feel softer, more compassionate. If you're willing to, again, with that Messiah archetype, serve humanity, even this one specific person, with humility, knowing that you don't know, but that you're willing to be shown whatever is necessary here to help. Because the amount of water in this spread, I'm not going to say it's overwhelming, but I am going to say it's potent, the cards that are on the table. So what's covering that 3 O cups on the inner Ace of Wands, that you're going to be given the opportunity, but you're learning how to begin this again. And why wouldn't you? You got the 10 of Flames before you on the path, and your lesson is how do I pick up that torch, that Ace of Wands? How do I hear the call, the hero's journey? Take the call of the hero's journey, then take the hero's journey of the hero's journey. This might be you needing to be personally selfish in a healthy way. Healthy selfish. Doing something for yourself here and still loving this person. I mean, it feels like the communication is going to happen. There is a decision that's going to change. That Ace of Wands could easily say that you communicate and start a new beginning with this person in a healthy way on your end, or you're out. What I will say is it's followed by a second ace, the Ace of Pentacles. Again, the feeling of there's so much potential. I really feel like Cancerian or Crosswatcher or whoever, that you are such a, I want to say a mensch. That's the right word, but it's not solid, right? That the potential, it's like you can feel the potential here. You can be very, very grounded and solid for somebody, and you're kind of vibing that. Ride or die, if you really want to go there, just don't die, right? I mean, just how long do you want to ride on a toxic train you are not steering? Or any toxic train, even if you are. What's that look like from the outside looking in for my Krabby Cakes, please? King of Pentacles, Capricorn, your opposite sign. So you are coming across exactly as I said. Solid, stable, cardinal earth, Capricorn, sea goat, right? Stable, strong, lovely, a fortress. But do you have to, are you the only means by which this cause can succeed? Well, get up into the sky, get up into them higher chakras, that Aquarius card. See it from a place of, right, humanitarianism, very much 11th house, Aquarius vibration, right? Hands across America, charity, and feed the world, make it a better place, and all that. What's going on from the outside looking in there, or the inside looking out there for the Cancerians in their destiny? The Death card. You are transforming. This is transforming you. This is giving you higher perspective. Death is not the end. It's only the 13th card out of 21 cards in traditional tarot. Sometimes people add extra cards, take some away, whatever. So there is a transformation, I think, not just of you, but of this relationship. And again, the nature of that is not indicated here, because with the Ace of Wands, it could go either way. How you initiate walking away, although I don't see the 8 of Cups here either. But the decision is yours. The decision is yours to make. And with that 10 of flames, you might be like, all right, this part of it is done. I am not doing that anymore, but I'm here as your friend. I'm here as even a confidant. I am steady, but I am not your healer, right? It feels like your role in this transforms through the power of fire, right? You just get burned out on it. It's like, I can't do this anymore, but I love you. I think that's fair, right? To say I'm not an addiction counselor, nor am I going to enable certain behaviors. The conflict. And I think this is where we really come to not the end, well, the end of Celtic Cross spread for that deck, but it leaves you with this sense of conflict where even if you make the highest, happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, right, live, wise, clear choice and decision here, that it's still gonna kind of pull you in two different directions. Just don't condemn yourself. You're doing the best that you can. What does that look like? Lower 3 chakras, please. Yeah, the sun. But I think you're gonna be happy. I think you're gonna be happy. I think you're gonna be healthy. I think you're gonna be radiant. But there's still gonna be this conflict inside of you. I do feel like whether, darling, you just have to let them know. Should you stay or should you go? And I don't think you figured that out yet. I do feel like with that Gemini card in your crown, you're trying to do this in a healthy way with the Hierophant, right? Structured, gradual, just not a pull-out. But with that card of the Sun, yeah, there's inner conflict, but it's necessary. Walking away from somebody is always hard, even when it's involuntary, let alone when it's voluntary. It's harder when it's voluntary, because they just go or they're taken, whatever, nothing left to do but cry and heal. But when it's of your own free will and your own decision to put your health when somebody else doesn't want to heal, that's what I'm getting on the table here. Now, I will say this Temperance card, if they are, then yeah, there's still this conflict inside. There may be, and again, how many addiction issues are like healed with the snap of a finger, right? They weren't set up overnight. They certainly don't usually heal overnight. So it's interesting, that Temperance card. I just hope that they're not fronting there. I hope that they are doing their due diligence and the work that needs to be done. All right, those are our tarot on the table. Let's get some oracles here. We're going to do the Whispers of Love Oracle, the voices of the higher selves of all involved, meaning you and them. Please take a nice deep breath. Here we go. As I call to the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, please, what is the whisper of love? The piece of information, inspiration, and insight for the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love, and a Messiah and an Addict contract, please. What is your message? Actions speak loudly. Express your love through your actions, and I feel like that could be walking away. That could be saying to somebody, I love you so much, I don't have to watch you do this stuff. I've done it. It's not easy. I've done it. I've dealt with a lot of addicts in my life. It made me clean up my own PDQ. How are you going to... You don't love yourself, you don't love... How are you going to love anybody else you don't love yourself? What is that? Can I get an amen? Whatever. I had a RuPaul snafu in my head there. Look, actions speak loudly. I do feel like you're going to be the one that busts the move on this one. Then it might be, I love you. I love you so much my heart breaks. We're friends. We're connected. But I don't know that I can help you. I want to, but I can't carry you on this. You have to learn how to walk on this. You have to learn how to walk your way through this. Not that we don't need help. We all need help. I need help, and we all do. No man is an island. But that doesn't make the parts that you must walk alone any easier. Unless you're really, really doing the work. And then you are always given what you need in every moment. Even when you're not doing the work, you're still being given everything that you need, just not everything that you want. So, wouldn't it be nice to have a divine animal on the path, right? A guide on the path, a totem or spirit animal from the Divine Animals Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. Let's see who's walking with you that you can call upon. Breathe. Oh, the garbage truck is here. Be right back. Okay. It's literally right outside my window, and you can hear every shift and clunk as the thing shakes the dumpster over its head. All right, so yeah, the Divine Animals Oracle. Give me a minute, because it's a different vibration of Pantheon of Divine. They're not exactly verbal. Please take a nice deep breath. I mean, they're sort of verbal. You just got to understand the vibe. As I call upon the totems and spirit animals for the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, watching this video, receiving this reading, walking the path of true love, a Messiah and an Addict, right? Meet at a crossroads. What will they decide? Give them some guidance and grace, please. Spirit animals and totems for the Cancerian collective in this rather tricky soul contract. And you have the elephant. The elephant. Oh, very Ganesh. Very Ganesh looks like a goddess behind her. Do you see the eyes above? And there's the elephant there. Card number 10. I do need the magnifying glass. It should be a microscope for the teeny tiny, little teeny tiny writing in this. Leadership. That's the key word. All right. Looks like you have to lead by example, to teach by example. It do happen. This seems like a little bit of a tough love situation. Card number 10, Elephant, leadership. There is a time to step forward and lead, and it is now. Be the leader in your own life. If you want something achieved, take the lead yourself. Be the example that others will follow. Do not lead by force, but instead by inspiration. You might have to model for them what is healthy. Not easy, particularly if you're not so sure yourself, but what with that Messiah archetype, though, it does make sense. It's like you have to serve with humility, serve humanity with humility. This person's part of humanity. That's the highest you can do in this, and that's pretty good. You might have to do it by example. Now, this book gives you the myth behind the elephant. We're not going there at the moment. The animal, the behavior, all of that. We're looking at the magic here. Elephant magic is powerful yet calm. And I think that's a good indication of that Three of Cups here. It's like, no, I love you. Not angry. I just can't really help here. Heartbroken, not necessarily angry, right? It can be used when you wish to have obstacles removed, Ganesh, or to move out of a limbo situation. Elephants are wise and take leadership, which is where their magic is so effective. If you wish to become a better leader, or at least a wiser one, or you would like to attract such a person into your life, ask for the elephant to lend her energy to you. Tusk! Let's bring a little Fleetwood Mac levity into this rather intense read. Look, that is sort of what I'm getting here, right? What's the Hierophant? Like I said, similar to the Emperor, but a different vibe. This could be spiritual leadership. Not that you need to declare a title or, be a minister or anything like that. Maybe you already are. But then really to demonstrate to them, I love you, but I cannot do this for you. I cannot make you go to meetings. I cannot, but I love you. And I love myself too, so I don't have to sit here and bear witness to it unless I absolutely must. Yeah. I mean, look, I wouldn't worry so much about this death card here. The death card so rarely means physical death. And not with that Aquarius card. I do feel like your relationship with this person is transforming. You are transforming, and no longer the person who would enable. Because if it all depends on you, and it doesn't, right? This healing, this relationship can't succeed without you, well, then it is by definition completely dependent on you, which makes it a dependency in and of itself. Hard, but that's okay. We've got one more card left. The Healing Mantra deck by Matt Connor. I wouldn't be surprised if Unraveling Codependency comes up, because that would be the right mantra, and I'll just tell you right now, that mantra is, Only I have to feel good about my choices. But we're talking about feeling good about the choices here. Not, burn the house down, it'll feel so good. No. Breathe. Yeah. Let's just do this. The Ascended Masters of True Love, particularly the healing ones here, because, well, it's all about healing, but this feels like somebody whose heart is broken because they can't help someone that they love. And there's like no indication if this is lover or family or whoever, whatever. So please, what is the perfect healing mantra for the Cancerian collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, a Messiah and an Addict. Right? Actions speak loudly with the elephant, guidance and grace, that leadership there. So please, what is their perfect healing mantra to help them on the path of true love? Grounding my energy. It is safe to be in my body. I am going to read this from the Bookie Book. We only had one other Bookie Book in this spread. And who else got this? Oh, I think that was the readings that I did in the other series, the New Moon to Full Moon reads that I'm doing at the same time as this. Grounding my energy. It is safe to be in my body. It's an interesting card to get there. And I'm going to read you from the Boogie Book, and then I'll give you my take on that. It is safe to be in my body. When your energy is grounded, you are no longer wrestling with the pain of the past or chasing after potential future outcomes. And I do feel like you had some potential future outcomes that you were willing to slow and steady wins the race, that sort of Virgo walking Knight of Pentacles there. You dare to demonstrate your very best attributes and qualities no matter how you are perceived or received by others. Yeah, I think that you're going to demonstrate some real, calm, peaceful, loving, badass authenticity. Loving but firm, ruthless compassion, tough love. I love you so much, but I can't and I will not compromise the truth of who I am. I can help you. I can do it with you, but I can't do it for you, right? With your energy grounded, your mind can relax and your body becomes a more enjoyable environment to inhabit. And it would make sense that with actions speaking loudly, to have your energy grounded, feeling safe in your own body. This mantra is ideal for replacing compulsive thoughts, which is very easy if you are dealing with an addict, releasing addictive behavior, what's your part in it, right? And finding stability, and a stability based on something eternal within yourself, the spirit fully incarnate, the soul really grounded in the physical body. I mean, not a pretty read, but an incredibly powerful one. And with the Messiah, you really have to look at, everybody's got their role to play in their healing. You can help, but you can't do it for them, right? Let me give you a final blessing. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon my pantheons of the divine to please bless the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, that they may walk the path of true love in honor, in love, in wisdom, and in power for the well-being of all. That they may serve humanity with humility, with someone who can be helped, will hopefully be helped, recognize and confront addictive behavior within themselves and perhaps the others around them. While the Cancerian feels this love, but pulled back as the hermit going inside. While this addict that crosses their path really deals with the pain inside of them in a long, slow, but healing process of temperance. With this sadness at the core, a sense of loss, a sense of, oh, if only it could have been, in this emotionally bonded relationship, regardless of the form and regardless of the illusions, the options that were available here. They were only going to come slow and steady wins the race, and perhaps the option of this person healing and rising above this and doing the work necessary and this relationship being reestablished is one of those viable options. But right now, doesn't really, at least it doesn't present what's going to happen on that just yet. But there is a communication that they have a decision, a choice about not just what they want to communicate, but how they want to communicate as the Hierophant, as a leader with that leadership elephant card right next to it. And there is a life-changing decision that they have to make on the outer, because a part of them is sort of done. A part of this is achieved. They know that they've done the best that they can, and actions speak loudly right above that. They might very much have to walk away from this person or situation, and their lesson is to still continue loving them. You can love them, to bless them as they take a new journey, going from that 10 of flames to that Ace of Wands in their lesson here, because there is still potential within this relationship, but it is in seed form. So to be the solid, stable friend, but from a distance. Boundaried Saturn, the planet with rings around it, saying, I love you, I am here for you, but to an extent only. I can do it with you, but I cannot do it for you. Following their destiny, allowing themselves to change and transform their part in this relationship as they continue to see things from the highest altitude that they can, understanding that everybody's dealing with pain, and this is an incredibly transformative time that we're in, and everything's being boiled to the surface right now so that they can serve serve humanity with humility and compassion, though they are conflicted but happy, and conflicted about their being happy, maybe not so happy about being conflicted here as they step into their own, of course, feeling safe in their body, right? Grounding their energy. It is safe to be in their body, so that they may walk the path of true love and do the healing that's meant to be done for them, that they may ripple out to the other person involved here as well as to anybody else involved. And as one addiction is slowly healed by one of us, it's slowly healed in all of us. So may that happen. May they be blessed with all that they need. May they be the true love that conquers all. May we all be the true love that conquers all for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. And I've got a mantra written here on the top of my clipboard. I am true love. True love I am. I am the true love that conquers all. That is the truth of who we are. But that, just because you know the words, doesn't mean it's all that easy. For after all, the course of true love never did run smooth. Thank you, Billy Shakespeare. Oh, past life boyfriends, what are you going to do? My Cancerian, my crab cakes, you want to book a read with me? You know how. There's a video in the description box. You want to read my book, Words of Grace? Link in the description box. Otherwise, reach out. Get the help that you need, the support that you need for yourself, because you're not in this alone. We are all in this together. So wishing you the very best and the very blessed of the path of true love, my beloved crab cakes. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.